Give everybody a hot second here. So I learned that my mic was cold on these intro things, so now people can actually hear me, so that's good. So we got some unique New York. How now, brown cow? The Human Torch acquired a bank loan. Is it today? I forget what. I gotta go back and watch that. Quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. And without further ado, welcome back. Welcome back, shooters. Got a little trippy there. Thanks everybody for tuning in for a nice Team Handball Tuesday edition of Shootin' Straight, Handball Podcast with JD and Joey. I thank you to all of you that tuned in for our earlier edition here, but now it's time for all business. So I'm joined, as always, by my comrade in the business, Joey. Joe, how we doing?
I'm doing fantastic, JD. How about yourself?
I cannot complain. I need everybody to tell me if we are having technical difficulties now, so we don't run into the same situation last time where we're halfway through. What are you doing, Nola? Where we're halfway through the show and realized that I had no audio, so that was a big problem.
Yes, very big problem because you said some great stuff. So that was a huge loss.
Yeah.
Not just for our listeners, but for society in general.
Yeah, missed data there. My dog right now is. Hey, can we not play with that? Thank you.
Our guest for today's show is Nola.
Nola, come here. Hey, baby dog, come here. Come up here. She's just looking at me like, come on, up. She just does want to play. Okay, well, anyways, so for today's topics as below, just look beneath my face. We got a couple things to talk about. It's gonna be a fairly short show, just because we got things to do, people to see, deadlines to meet. Oh, here she comes. So Joey, this past weekend, or it was 2 weeks ago, right? It was 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about how you broke into an untapped market?
Well, I have to qualify this, JD, because I thought when I got into like most of my stories, I'm going to just back up a couple steps here and start from 10,000 feet. The Detroit Handball Club, being we, partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, which is, if you're familiar with the Boys and Girls Clubs, they are like a national organization, but there's also there's local chapters, and those local chapters have various, locations and what have you. Essentially, they are after school programs and sports programs for kids who want after school and sports programs. Typically in big cities, typically in major urban settings. And we managed to get a partnership with them, which was huge, I thought, for the sport. I thought we were the first. I thought we were the only. But as soon as I made a post on LinkedIn, I got a few text messages from a few LinkedIn and whatever messages from people saying that we are not the first. I guess LA and Chicago are the first. So hats off to you guys. We're the third. I'm pretty happy about it because we put together a pretty cool video.
Medal.
Yeah. We're on the stand here. Hey, yeah, I'm cool with third place, but we introduced a ton of kids to the sport, and we're cooking up some really exciting stuff, both for the adult club, for the what I like to call the semi-pro team, even though we're not officially semi-pro yet, as well as for the youth development stuff. We are we're cooking with gas. I'm so excited. I don't want to spoil anything right now, but yeah, it's an exciting time to be the Detroit Handball Club.
Excellent.
So I would buy stock in handball, but buy stock in the Detroit Handball Club first and foremost.
Excellent.
Even though we're not.
Excellent. How many kids you think you had at your event?
Dude, it was, so we started
10,000.
Yeah, no,
tens
at
of
least
thousands.
Well, I was expecting so we were going to do different sessions. So in Michigan, football was canceled for the fall a few weeks ago. And so the Boys and Girls Club was struggling to try to figure out how to accommodate these kids. And so we happened to be in the right place at the right time. And they said, okay, with all these football teams that we had signed up and ready to play, we're going to do like a little sports jamboree for them and like introduce them to different activities. And so one of the activities is going to be handball. So we're going to have like 20-minute sessions with like different teams. And I thought, okay, it's going to be like 20 to 30 kids each, but like we get there at 10 a.m. and it's like 100 kids in this gym.
Dang.
Right out of the gate, 5 or 6 years old. I was like, oh boy, buckle up, Buttercup. So
Yeah.
it was a ton of fun. It was a lot of energy, and it was a little bit like Lord of the Flies at a couple points, but it was just cool, like introducing kids to handball. And obviously football is back on in Michigan, so we're pivoting right now with our plan. But I mean, dude, like we're
takes one.
Yep.
Takes one.
JD, did you know Chicago and LA had Boys and Girls Club connections?
So I assumed LA did just from a startup with like the Olympic buildup. I don't know if they're like involvement in the past, but
Sure.
I know that I don't know. I mean, I could ask Patrick about Chicago, but I did not. I thought you would have said New York because they did it through the whole whatever that was called.
New York Edge.
New York Edge. Yeah.
Which I think is similar to the Boys and Girls Club, I think, from what I understand.
Yeah, it sounded like the same kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think where we were really trying to tap into here in the Columbus market was like scouts, because a lot of scout groups need like an activity for the day. So we did like a couple Cub Scouts. We did handball as the activity for the day. But it's tough with kids. You know, you gotta have the right ball and just kind of herd the cats. You know, get them all.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Holy God, you know.
JD, there was one thing I like was blowing. It was like, have you seen Titanic?
Uh-huh.
Do you know where like they're like trying to like there's like the guy like blowing the whistle trying to keep people off the lifeboats, but kids are just flowing into the lifeboats. Yeah. That's how like that was me, except the kids were like playing basketball with the handballs.
Yes.
Like, I was just looking around, and it was like also like the scene from Saving Private Ryan where everything was like in slow motion and silent, yet it was so loud at the same time. There was like 150 kids screaming, running around, and like having fun. But I was like, what do I do?
Yep. It's crazy times, you know, and it's hard to try to manage all of that. But I think you guys probably did a good job based on the way the video turned out. It looked pretty fresh, so I'm pretty pumped for you guys and happy to see how this pans out. Because, like I've told people time and time again, it just takes one. You know, it takes one of those kids to be interested enough in it to take it home and play it at home. Because you have to realize that none of these kids are going to have a formal league unless you set it up. So if they just make it up in their backyard or in their basement, you know, we had a conversation with Columbus Armada owner Max Littman about his rise into handball, and he actually had an underground basement league handball that he would run. And he was so passionate about handball that he would play both the shooter and the goalie, because he would just bounce it off the wall and then make the save. So when you're alone in your basement like Max, it hits home. So, you know, we know Max isn't listening, so we have no problem saying all of these things. But yeah. So we just need people like that, you know, dedicated to the sport, willing to play both goalie and shooter in their basement alone to help grow the sport.
JD, I have to say too, there's a guy that the reason we are so like the reason we're like this now with the Boys and Girls Club is because of our guy Marvin Logan, who
I followed him.
Dude, he's the man. He's a stud first and foremost as far as like playing handball. The guy was D1 track star at Kent State, about our age, I think probably your age. He's a little older than me, but like he loves handball. Like when we got in touch with him, he like knew what it was, and he was like, I would watch every Olympics. Like I'm watching this thing at like 2 a.m, and like he is playing. And dude, like his first game with the Detroit Handball League, he scored 6 goals. His 6 goals, like 6 goals, and they never touched a handball before in a game. And these aren't like we have guys who know how to play on each side. He is a stud. I'm trying to get him like looked at.
Couple things. Did you know that Mark Ortega went to Kent State?
I did not. Are you serious?
Yeah, he played football there.
All right, that's good to know. He played football at Kent State?
Yeah.
Man.
I think he had,
wow.
I forget if he was like a punt returner or kick returner or something like that. He's like a
D1 football player, Mark Ortega. Go figure.
Yep. The Ortega family's known for their athleticism. His older brother Ruben played quarterback at Ohio State. He was he's the second or third string behind Bobby Hoying in the 90s.
Better than Tate Martell.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mark's nephew Caleb is starting quarterback at local high school here in Columbus, and he's on that same track. So maybe not Ohio State, but some athletic career. I had him come to a handball tryout. He's just a little undersized right now, so he hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. But in time. But yeah, so I'm Marvin. You said his name, Marvin, right? So I'm real pumped to get him kind of more involved because you get one of the boys and girls clubs. You just say like, hey, you tell him like, hey, what do we got in Columbus or Cincinnati or Pittsburgh, and then boom, we got more
Dominoes.
going on.
The domino.
But yeah, I had a quick question on that with Marvin. So one of his posts, he's wearing a Hamtramck jersey. So am I seeing we got two teams in Detroit now? We got the Hamtramcks and the Hamtramck Hammies and the Detroit Handball Club.
Have we not talked about this already?
No. I did not.
Dang.
I did not know this.
I'm sorry. Shoot, okay. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about this. It's the Detroit Handball League. So Hamtramck is the city that we currently play our practices in, and Midtown is our the place we used to practice at. And so we decided to get more games, and considering we had enough guys to do it, to split the club, quote unquote, and to do this mural. Yeah, right. Ooh.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll lose so many people.
Crazy. And I know, and these four or five new people we've gotten,
it's like they've gone the opposite way with actually, instead of hating the sport, they're loving it. Like, whoa, what an idea.
It's weird, man. It's weird how playing the sport gets you better at it and gets you
more into it. Yeah, it's weird how it works.
Go figure. I'm sorry I haven't mentioned that yet, JD.
I just assumed that it was in the videos and stuff. I was like, I just assumed this is some Hamtramck Hammies. Do they have a name? Because I feel all right, I'm running with the Hamtramck Hammies.
That works.
For all the listeners out there that don't know Hamtramck and how it's spelled, can you spell it? Because it's a weird spelling.
Right? You'd think it's spelled HAMTRAM,
maybe ICK or some AACH or something like
MCK.
that.
It's really weird.
It's one of them. Polish or yeah.
So I'm glad you noticed that too, because I had that realization fairly recently, and I'm a lifelong.
You're a Detroiter. But
good observation.
The Hamtramck Hammies, I'm liking it because I was telling so Shane, shout out Shane if he's watching right now. He was watching earlier when JJ was taking off in his jet plane. But Shane and I were talking about a 6 to 8 team league just in basically Columbus to Detroit kind of scene. We could have Flint, Hamtramck Hammies, Detroit HC, Armada,
Midtown Middies. Hamtramck and Midtown are Detroit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right. So, let me reword.
It's like the Dublin Drums.
Okay.
Except not really.
All right. Okay. So we got Flint, Hamtramck, Midtown. Okay. Cincinnati, Armada, Drunks, Pittsburgh. And then we would need to get either OSU or get Dayton to start up. And then we would have all teams in basically the I-75 minus Pittsburgh would be and I guess kind of Columbus, but kind of that 75 thoroughfare. I don't know how far it is from Flint to Cincinnati, but that can't be more than 4.5 hours.
I think it's a straight shot because it's 75, so it's
Yeah.
probably not too shitty.
But
We're talking about the Minnesota trip. Like, that's just not even. We might as well go to.
Nothing against any of our Minnesota listeners, which are probably zero, but I will never go to Minnesota. I only go to Minnesota on one reason. Okay, any guess?
Nationals.
No, zero. Nope, I would not go to Minnesota for nationals. I would just punt.
Oh.
The land of 10,000 lakes has one thing that'll bring me to it, and that is the Minnesota State Fair. So
really?
The Minnesota State Fair has a delicacy that I've never seen anywhere else. So I saw it on Food Network.
Okay.
Spaghetti and meatballs, wrapped in garlic bread, deep fried on a stick. It doesn't get any just more state fair than that, in my opinion. So
America.
If anybody's got any better state fair foods, throw them in the chat. But that is hands down. Like since I've been a little kid. Like I was probably like 9 or 10 years old when I saw that, and I told my mom every year, "Hey, we're going to Minnesota," and every year it didn't happen. Shocker, right? So one of these days I'll make the trek. But that's definitely the number one reason to go to Minnesota.
But shout out to Josh, who I love, who's fighting the good fight.
Fighting the good fight. Moshi, he's up there and way north.
Oh man,
he's
in like Fargo, North Dakota. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
God bless him.
Man, that's the people that you and I at least have like cities and like we're close by to each other that we can bounce games off of, but like nothing against Moshi and Concordia, but like those guys, man, they are out there. They ask OSU guys to come all the time, and I was like, they're like, "You guys want to come out for like a game?" And I was like, "No offense, but I'm not driving like 10.5 hours to play one or two games against a team that we know that we're a little bit superior than, to put it nicely." Oh, yeah. Mishi says, when you have nothing better to do with your freedom, you just play handball. It's good. It's good. Some other comments in the chat here. We got Mr. J Hochter 16 going off on some JJ McShooter chants. And CJ's talking about how the Midwest League is kind of far for us. But not really us, but just far apart in general. That the teams are fairly spread out. So I don't know. I was just talking to Shane, and we were just talking about how we could get an 8-team league, basically, between just our general area. Maybe even 6.
Ohio,
maybe we start 6, yeah. Screw Pittsburgh. You hear that, Andrew? Back off. He's got a kid now. He's got a third
child?
Yeah.
Hey.
He was almost born on my birthday. I told him that if he's born on my birthday, he'd have to name him Julian. And he was not born on my birthday. So
Your name's Julian?
It is. Okay, everybody. That's the only time I'll say my real name on the air. So make it count, kids. But yeah, so it sounds like your guys' event went pretty well. And I think that's something we can really build off of down the road. So
sort of a tangent here, JD. Is Los Angeles Team Handball Club a real handball club?
Well, if you ask Jamil, it is.
See, I don't even know who that is. So
he's the kind of old dog in charge, I would say. He does a lot of stuff with the beach.
Got it. So
yeah, I don't know what their indoor scene looks like. They're real big on beach because they have a really nice beach that they can, it's perfect weather all the time. So I don't see.
Because I have a guy who plays beach, not going to name names, who asked me about like the situation with indoor.
Oh,
I guess not with LA and specifically, but like it just seemed like my experience with LA during the Super Globe qualifier, where it was essentially just an all-star team of guys who live nowhere near Los Angeles.
Devin was on the LA team. Did you know
What?
that?
Seriously?
Yeah, he was on that
That's
team.
insane.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
Zach Reitz flew from Denmark to play with LA. I didn't.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. I did not fly from Denmark, where I was training 6 times a week to play with LA. That's okay. I mean, I'm over it. I'm not upset. I wasn't offended, but I'm just saying I stayed in Denmark. I stayed training in Denmark for 6 days a week, and was not invited to play with LA. What were we talking about again?
So Mishi said that the better question is LA an American or Brazilian club? And
Or Mexican.
Yeah, and she said they don't normally practice indoor until January. So, but yeah, LA. I'm just trying to think. You have a guy that plays beach, but is asking about LA, which means he's not in LA. So I'm trying to think who is in the beach.
You won't know. You won't guess.
Okay, all right. I'm not that good.
But yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting.
Mishi says there's more activity recently, so just an awareness that
this kind of goes back to, and thank you, Mishi, but this kind of goes back to the, like, I don't know, like if it doesn't, sounds bad, it sounds very millennial, so I'll watch myself, but if you don't post it on social media, does it really happen? Does it really count?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, we live in fast-paced times at Ridgemont High here. You gotta put everything out there, make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. Because I mean, I made a TikTok with Max. You know, Max, the worst player on our team, and I made a TikTok with him. Most views I've ever had on any of my TikToks. It was fantastic. Coincidence? I don't know.
In shooting?
Yeah, it was just an awkward, goofy shot because Max just has weird body mechanics.
An awkward goofy guy.
But yeah, we had practice. Nobody didn't know that there was only 2 people at practice, but or 3, I guess, counting myself. But yeah, we're trying to change that. The problem is OSU kids who aren't listening get scared to come to practice. So
fair enough. Crazy times, but
okay. Nishi's got more
great.
clarifiers to keep us shooting straight here. She says they post on Instagram, so that's their bread and butter's like Instagram. Weird.
So does Orlando Team Handball,
which that's I think you got to ask Rafa about that, which we did, and Rafa didn't know what was going on there.
Yeah, and I have seen the posts, like they do, like basically what Danilo is doing, where it's like he's just talking to people. Well, Danilo and Mike as well, and us, I guess, right? Where we were just talking to people, but there's like 2 people who I've like even heard of from there. Like when I saw that they were doing those, there was like maybe like Ian Pinson was like the one person I had like, oh, like I know who that is, and then the rest was like just I don't know.
Yep.
Frank from LA Team Handball.
Go Frank. Big Frank fan.
I guess I'm just from Detroit.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're just small fish in our own ponds out here, just swimming big.
Apparently.
Big flippers. Yeah, so that was a good tangent there. I don't know what started the LA conversation. Oh, about them having boys and girls club.
Yeah. All of a sudden, LA is just leading the charge with youth development in the U.S. So
they better be if that's the case.
Kowtow to LA. Good for you, LA. Whatever. All right, we're third. All right. Congratulations.
Not third for long though. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. Well, we got several thousand Detroiters, Detroiters.
Detroitans sounds kind
of Detroitans. Fire your cannons.
What is your profession?
Yeah, when we get a couple thousand Detroiters slinging some handballs around, we'll see who's winning. But yeah, good. So that kind of covers our
Columbus-ians.
Yeah,
Columbus-ians.
I'm Columbus-ians.
Columbus.
Franco Columbus. Yeah, the Columbus. I don't know if we have a boys and girls club. I'd imagine there's something. I think YMCA is probably better. Excuse me for the yawn, folks. It's a late night here. Trying to think about what other youth options we might have in the Columbus area, but it's tough. Like I got a lot of friends who are gym teachers, and I don't know if I'm speaking Chinese or what when I tell them like, hey, I can show up and bring multiple members of the national team to a gym class. Like, do you think that would be cool? And they're like, I don't know. I'm sorry if I was just a measly old gym teacher in, any kind of school district. If I could tell you I could bring several members of a national team from Team USA wearing all their Team USA stuff, wouldn't that be a draw? I'm not really sure what the downside is there.
I feel like schools are weird. I feel like dealing with schools in general, like whether it's talking directly to a gym teacher or trying to to do what Cal Heat is doing is just a challenge for whatever reason. I feel like the guard is up for whatever reason with schools. Like they're very strict gatekeepers, for better or for worse.
Yes, it's probably rightfully so because they don't want randos coming into the school to take kids.
Yeah, and two, think about this, JD. Like as far as like competition goes, to like keep kids engaged, like I mean, schools probably aren't the most bang for your buck as far as like the work you have to put in order to get a return. And I could be wrong because we have several members of Cal Heat listening right now and could probably chime in. But the effort, I feel like it would take if you're an outsider, like a couple guys who don't have kids, to get something like Cal Heat has going is just like very, very large. Whereas there's other simpler routes that won't take years
or birthing a child.
Yeah. It would just be more straightforward, I guess, is what I'm trying to say as far as a route.
Mishi sent me a very funny picture in my personal chat there about Cal Heat's depiction of LA from 2019. So it's a funny picture of Rafi wearing a Brazilian shirt. So it's quite comical. I'll keep it to myself though, because we don't need to bash everybody, but I don't think we have any LA listeners anyway, so I'm not too concerned. If we did,
is it too soon, JD, to make a joke about half of LA's team like joining New York after New York won, or is that awful?
I think that wouldn't have been too soon the day after it happened, considering the guys that joined the team for New York didn't join the team for LA because they're from Brazil. They're like, do you know who was on that team for New York? They had a guy from the British national team, Carlos Prieto. They had the two Brazilian guys. They had, what's his face? I always think Benji doesn't live in New York, and they always tell me he does, but he only plays with them at nationals. He used to play, was it first or second league France, and then they just have a laundry list of guys who just like showed up for that tournament. That I'm not really sure we don't need to get into that, but
that doesn't bother me so much and not even that this bothers me, but just the fact that like, okay, like you're playing a qualifier, right? And then like, the second place team, like, one team wins. All right. Like, let's take like the coach and then a bunch of players.
Yeah.
Or not even a bunch of players, just like the best player from the second place team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. If you look at the stats, I bet Anderson and Gill probably scored like all the goals for LA. Like, I talked to Mike King after that event, and he was ticked because he ended up playing like right wing, and I'm like, you got other lefties that could have done. Anyways, it was a train wreck of a situation.
All I'm saying is, had they taken maybe one or two more players, American players who were like living in Denmark and like training 5-6 times a week, maybe it would have maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but maybe it would have as well. So I don't know. I don't have a time machine, so I can't go back and like speculate. But just something to think about.
Yeah.
LA, not bitter. Just pointing it out.
Did you ask to join their team?
No, because I have too much pride.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I was not asked to join, therefore I did not ask.
I don't know if people like formally ask, just like randos, like, hey, you want to be on our team this year? I don't know how that works. Like,
I think that happens.
I have my network, and I don't ask people outside my network. And my network is strictly like my hand-grown handball people, not, I don't know, pre-knowledged handballers. Like all the people that are on my teams are people that have learned handball through me.
Who is the coach for that LA team?
It was Mark.
Yeah,
he didn't ask me to come. Well, maybe he did.
Didn't
He did ask me to come as an assistant coach, and I said I'm not taking 2 days off of work or whatever it was to drive out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have done that. I do love Mark though. I'm just playing. I'm being a little.
I just didn't see the value added in it. I was like, yeah, cool. You guys go do that.
I love Mark. Mark's a good guy. And he's crushing.
I didn't see how they did, but Alex Banderas played his first game with Volendam a couple days ago.
Hell yeah!
So shout out to
Alex is also
the guys out in the Netherlands there.
JD, I heard something about you guys sending some Ohio State guys over there
to the Netherlands.
Yeah, was that just spring break?
That was just spring break. Yeah. We sent Dale and Matt Manning, a new member to the club. But yeah, they had a good time. It was right in the middle of the pandemic start, so yeah,
wow,
it was not a great situation. But
were they able to actually play?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a little bit tough coming back, but they got back. Which reminded me that so you were on another podcast with some of your friends last week, and I listened to that episode, or at least listened to the part where you were talking. It just makes me wonder if random people listen to this, what they think of our podcast, because I know I listened to them and I was like, man, there's a lot of inside jokes, like and I'm not sure if I'm picking up what they're putting down here, but yeah, you have some interesting stories there, especially about how you first tried to start a handball team in high school. I didn't know that story, so that was that was an eye opener. But we won't make you
grace our listeners.
Yeah. You can give it a synopsis here. I think that's a good one.
Let's leave that. Let's make a cliffhanger because I feel like I've gone on enough minutes, so we need more JD. We need more like dialogue than just Joey spouting.
Yeah, back and forth. Usually we got the guest. The guest just rambles. I feel bad because it's not good podcast. It's just one person talking. We need some some back and forth.
If it's a guest, I think it's okay if they're the ones talking the majority of the time, right?
You guys tell me.
That's just my opinion.
People in the chat,
we can differ on
let us know. Let us know. We've got decent viewership, so I'm thankful for all our viewers. They definitely were tuning in to watch JJ in his first games, which didn't go as I had planned. So I came to realize I was playing on hard difficulty, which I'm no quitter, so I kept it on hard.
Yeah.
But we beat. I'll have to go back and check. I should have kept stats, man. We're in like the third Spanish league. So there's only 4 teams. So we play for Madrid, and I think the other teams in our group were Nava, Tara de la Vega, or something like that. And
wait, what was that? What was that other
Tara de la Vega, Terre la Vega, and trying to remember the other team. Either way, we won 2 games. We lost 3 games. JJ actually came out pretty good, but as our viewers mentioned in the chat, big problem from myself is that all we do is we're just shooting straight at the goalie. So a lot of shooting straight at the goalie. So it's not great from a shooting spectacle, but defense, very good at flop defense. Big floppers.
That's huge.
It was have you ever played the game?
I have not had the privilege yet.
Okay, next time you come to my house, we'll have to get it out, or maybe you save up and buy Handball 21, and we could play each other, or on the same.
Do they have
team.
it on the Xbox?
That's what I have it on.
Darn it! I guess I should get it because my brother has one of those Xbox.
All right, wait until Handball 21 comes out in a couple months here.
That's what I'm going to do.
Get yourself a nice Christmas present. It's really bad. It's why it's really funny, because it's just so bad. There's so many glitches. Like, for instance, somebody found this glitch that if you shoot right away from like half court, it'll go in every time. Goalie won't save it. If you plant to take a charge and they run into you, you'll flop and get a offensive every time. Yeah. So there's a lot of like quirks.
Nice.
But I apologize for you getting really yawned. Yeah, we're gonna bounce back though. We're gonna bounce back. The key for this team is JJ's gonna lead them to a league title. They're gonna move up, and hopefully eventually make it to the Champions League. Not even sure if there's a Champions League format in the game, so that might be a disappointment.
Can you move up if you like win the leagues? Is it
honestly,
like a normal video game?
I have no idea. I would think that by this is Handball 17. You'd think that forever. I mean, that's been around for 20 years. That level of athletic video game progression. Like, oh, you're on a bad team, you're gonna get traded to a better team. Like, you'd think that they would have that available. So we'll see. Yeah, CJ says after season 4 we should improve, or maybe he's saying after 4 years the video game should improve. The problem, CJ, is that the game is being made by a different developer. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's a new developer. Not really sure how that works. Like, it's not like EA is going to sell Madden to, somebody else like Ubisoft, or I don't even know who would buy a game like that. But that just doesn't happen in America, unless Martin can come and tell us. I'm not sure Martin's watching right now, but maybe he can tune in and let us know what video game development situations are like. So yeah. But otherwise, it was good first set of games. We had good viewership. We're gonna keep doing it. I don't know if people got a night we want to do Handball 17 matches, but I'm open to keeping it Tuesdays before the show. I think that was a good little prelude to our actual show.
Big time.
Did you watch, Joey? You can say no. You can say no.
I did not. Did not at all. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, I'll shed a tear this evening when I'm alone in the bathroom.
Next time, though.
Yeah, I think the big thing that people need to, if you're listening, please, when you're watching on Twitch and you see something cool or funny or worthwhile, please hit the clip. So if you're looking at your phone, there's like I'll put my phone up here. I'm gonna try to do this. So there's a little like movie player thing right there. If you hit that clip button, that helps us get some short segments that I can use for like social media purposes and things like that. So it's just helpful, so I don't have to go back and rewatch all that stuff. But as I told the people of Twitter, we got to go back and watch game film so that we don't have the same mistakes in our next couple games. Joey, do you think we'd have any success with this video game? Like, do you think it's worthwhile to us keep playing this? I'll give it a couple seasons and we'll see how this works. But
are you talking about the player?
Yeah,
thing or
about
what?
JJ. Yeah, right now there's not a lot of love for JJ.
As long as you're having fun, man.
Oh, I could do that all night. Yeah, I could play that all night. So thankful to all the people that are tuning in. And CJ, I will not say anything controversial on the air, so you can't clip that. Good luck. Good luck finding it. But yeah, so I don't know. We got anything else? Because we're gonna keep today short. So I only got the only last thing I got to talk about is the Twitch subscription topic.
There's something else we want to talk about, but hey, I'm cool with cutting it short today.
We can. I'll just talk about Twitch. If you remember it, then we'll run it. So for you guys that are following us on the Twitch, as I think we talked about last time, to get that cash money that goes back to handball, we need you guys to also subscribe. So when you go to the page, there should be a button that says subscribe. You hit that. Easy enough. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month. Use that subscription to subscribe to us. So then we get, it's either $2 or $2.50 for your subscription each month. We have 54 followers right now. If we get all 54 to follow us or subscribe to us, we're talking some solid cash money, and it's money that Joey and I will definitely use for more events and development at the youth level, because that's
investing in handball. Investing in handball.
Yeah, and it doesn't even cost you anything. That's the big sell there, is that you're already paying for your Amazon Prime account. This is just you linking the two together because Amazon owns Twitch. Fun fact, if you didn't know that. But yeah, that's all I got. So nice, short, sweet episode. Unless you got anything else, Joey?
You know what? Thank you, everyone. And again, too, I just want to apologize to the good people of Los Angeles and Chicago for having the gall to think I was the first person to partner with the Boys and Girls Club. I apologize. And you know what? I'm just going to do better. I'm just going to do better from now on. So please accept my accept my sincere apology, and hopefully
they have to be listening. You know, they have to listen to accept the apology. That's the key.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they listen.
I bet EBA listens. I bet he does. I had one more thing. Drew Donlin had his first game back with Adam Arleon for his new season. So shout out Drew from Minnesota.
Did they win?
I think they won, but Drew did not play at all. John Ryan gave me the recap. Shout out to John. John said the new, I think, Polish guy that took his spot didn't play so hot. So maybe Drew's going to get some more calls up off the bench next time. But the John Ryan
did he
analysis,
actually heard?
Go ahead.
Oh no, and this was my analysis. Whoops. I heard that they did not want to run the score up on the team that they were playing.
It was a gentleman's match.
It's a sportsmanship thing. They didn't want to score. They didn't want to put up a 50-piece on a team, with an American. I mean, that would just be slapping the face, right?
Man, kid caught pants down there.
Has Ty started playing yet?
I don't think. I'd have to check. I don't think Ty. I don't even know if he's moved back yet. I don't think he's.
It looks like
back.
he has. Okay. On Instagram.
All right, I have to go back and look then. My stalking abilities are down. John Ryan's analysis of the team says they needed an enforcer on defense. So, that's where if Drew becomes that enforcer, even though he's probably the nicest person on the national team in our system, it's gonna be tough. But game face Drew, that's one to fear. He's a big man. So yeah, that went well. John also has got some potential other Americans on the team that played Drew's team. Some
really?
Yeah, some rumors up there about one of the players might have an American father. So we won't name names, but you guys can do your own homework on it. John sent me the Wikipedia page on him, so he's already got a Wikipedia page, which means he's more famous than us.
Is he Spanish? Half Spanish?
No, he is
American?
Not from Spain. He
Where's he
has
from?
some of the same blood as you, Mr. Joe Williams.
Oh, he's Argentinian? No kidding. Nice.
So,
Might be my cousin. Who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, technically, JD, I'm half Argentinian because my mom is not. She's not an American. Well, she is an American citizen now, but she's like an Argentinian citizen my entire life until last year. So.
What made her switch?
I never got the clout. What?
What made her switch?
She lived here.
Well, how long? I mean, I assume she lived here your entire. I mean, she's lived here for 20-some years.
Well, she went here for college, and then.
So she was born in Buenos Aires or something.
It's a long story.
Okay.
She's full blown Argentinian.
So she's FBA, full blooded Argentine. Is it Argentinian or Argentine?
You know what? I've actually that's a debate I've had my entire life. I don't know. I
Okay.
think you say Argentine when it's when you're British, and then Argentinian
An
if you're
Argentine.
American.
Rohan. Rohan, can I get an Argentine? Shout out Rohan. But yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's cool. Fun facts there.
But hey, all right. Fellow Argentinian American. Very cool.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably do a show Saturday. We got to figure out. We will have a guest. We didn't have a guest today because Joey had some late business to attend to that didn't know when we were going to be able to get this show on the road. But we will have a guest Saturday, and we'll let you guys know as usual. We got a whole slew of people lined up. It's kind of a problem now that we have too many people to get on the show. I think
good problem to have.
Yeah. I think the last few have been very timely and appropriate. So, but yeah. I think we're good for today. So let's cut the cord. You got any closing remarks there?
Bye, guys.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
As always, everybody, keep shooting, shooters.
Are we off? Oh. Okay.